We've got a play of the day that has hit in 5 straight games, coming off of a nice 2-0 sweep on the show. Yesterday, we hit our play of the day and our same game parlay of the day, and we got both coming at you for April 1st. Welcome, everybody, to the Prop Line. I'm your host, Andy Lang. This is a show where we dive deep into the props market on a daily basis. If you're like me, you believe that the props market is where you can make the most money and build your bankroll. The totals, the spreads, that's not my jam. Let's do it. Let's get started with our same game parlay of the day. Let's improve this record. Eleven and 4 run on same game parlays. Somebody on X last night told me that my same game parlays were stupid, even though we cashed yesterday's. So we're going to get started here, and we're going to go to the 76ers and the Wizards tonight. And if you've been following the same game parlays, what we've been doing is fading these tanking teams, and we take an alt spread on the team that we think is going to win by margin, and that's what we build it on. So we're going to start with the 76ers minus 9.5. I kind of like this 76ers team when they're healthy, and they have been healthy. So the Wizards just lost to the Lakers by 19, the Blazers by 35. So we're going to start with that one. We're going to take Joel Embiid to make 1 3-pointer. He is getting 6 attempts per game since returning from injury. He's made at least 2 in all 4 of those games. And then we're going to go to Paul George. We're going to have him to make 12-plus points. This guy has scored 19-plus points since returning from the suspension. So Paul George looking really, really good. Looks healthy. Sometimes these breaks, these guys come back and they're just rested and healthy, and that seems to be what it's looking like. So wrap that all up, and that ends up being a minus 105 same game parlay. We're going to go to the play of the day, and I'm going to go to the San Antonio Spurs with Keldon Johnson to go over 12.5 points. This is mostly matchup based. They're playing the Golden State Warriors tonight, and we'll start off with what Keldon Johnson has been doing recently. He's gone over in 5 straight games, scoring 15-plus points. The big thing for me on this one is that the Golden State Warriors are sitting a lot of guys. I mean, a lot of guys, and they've even got some guys that are questionable. So this could be an absolute skeleton crew. And the Spurs are not shy of winning by margin big. I really think the bench guys for the Spurs could play plenty of minutes. Wemby is kind of he is in the MVP discussion, but this is a pretty good game where you don't have to put a whole lot of minutes on him. So look for Keldon Johnson, some of these other bench guys, to have pretty good minutes tonight. So Keldon Johnson over 12.5 points is going to be our play of the day. All right, let's go to the Market Watch. By the way, shout out to Charlie McAvoy. I mean, this guy's just incredible. That's 30-5. In the last 35 games, this man has scored a point in 30 out of the last 35 games. Man, when we find these streaks in the props market, it's amazing how much money you can make off of them. So, okay, we have a lot of day games in baseball, but we're going to start with the NBA. And I mentioned Paul George earlier. I think you can look at his over 2.5 made threes. He's made 4+ since returning. He's getting 11 attempts, and he's shooting over 40%. This Wizards team is just truly awful. So Paul George over 2.5 made threes could be a look. I got a couple plays in the Bulls and the Pacers. I like the Bulls to put a thumping on the Pacers. So we'll start with Josh Giddey to get over 10.5 assists. He's had 10 or more assists in 6 straight. So technically a couple of games he landed on 10, so he went under, but he's getting 21 potential assists, and this Pacers team is just awful. They've given up 114+ in 8 straight games, and they've accidentally won a couple of games, which is bad. So I think the coach is probably going to pull in the reins on the offense here and the defense on the Pacers, and maybe sit some guys and not get some of their best players some minutes tonight. So we'll piggyback off that, and we'll look at Trey Jones over 15.5 points. He's had 19+ in the last 3 games, and he's making 7 shots per game. He's adding free throws in. So maybe we get Giddey and Trey Jones to team up. Giddey passing the ball to Trey Jones. Trey Jones getting some good shot attempts, and Giddey to go over his assists and Trey Jones to go over his points. That could be a same game parlay. If you want to lower Giddey to like 8 assists and Trey Jones to like 13 points, that could be a potential same game parlay as well. Joel Embiid, couple props that have my attention. We hit a big client play on his over 3-pointers. It was 1.5. And that plays about, I think it's like even money on most sports books, but he also has a points, rebounds, assist prop number at 41.5. I'm wondering if this is too high tonight. If this is a blowout, which it very well could be, I wonder if he just doesn't quite get the numbers tonight. And the Wizards are so bad inside. Is he going to shoot 3-pointers or does he just feast inside? So he's gone under the last couple times that he's played the Wizards, mostly because he doesn't need to play in the fourth quarter. So this 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists, I know on paper you want to take centers over, but I'm a little bit worried about that one. I wonder if this is a really sneaky under for tonight's game. So those are your NBA props. What do we have up right now? 4% NBA best bet. We've got our MLB best bet as well. And we have our half price darts play that goes off tomorrow. That is a 4%er. But again, guys, the 3 days and you get 3 days free. This promo has been so good at Wager Talk, and you guys are getting so many of them that we just keep leaving it up. So you want to just get a quick 6 days, you get it half price for the price of 3. And also, if you want to get 30 days, we've knocked $100 off of all of my plays. You also get Jan's cricket plays, boxing, rugby, all of that. We got some big plays that we're putting in. Dan hit another lacrosse play last night, so you're going to get that play as well. Everything that comes up. And actually, I did do a little accounting on our end. The first quarter of 2026, really happy with the performance here of our plays. 204 wins, 170 losses for plus 34 units. So that is right on pace. I want to be up 10 units at the end of each month. We do that, we're going to be up 120 units at the end. So just slightly ahead of schedule. So really happy with the team. And if you want to partner up for the next 30 days, you're getting $100 off. That's at my page, wt.buzz/AL. And again, you're not just getting my plays. You're getting all of Jan's plays. You're getting all of Dan's plays. You're getting all of Jim's plays. You're getting everything that we do. So looking forward to the next big quarter. And I know we're coming up on summer and the dog days, but we've got racing, we've got boxing, we've got UFC, we've got all the sports that we specialize in. So, yeah, you want to jump on board. Now's a really, really good time. All right, let's go to a couple props in MLB before we get out of here. And, guys, please hit the like button. Leave me a comment below. Just give me an algorithm boost, an emoji, a hashtag. I don't care what it is. Or just tell me your best prop. Love those. Giancarlo Stanton will have a hit. This is actually going to be a client play. He has 2 hits in every game, and the batters before him, Bellinger and Rice, they're getting on base. So they can't really pitch around him because when he comes up, there's a guy on base. So you're not really going to walk him. So Giancarlo Stanton, when he's healthy, he's a dynamic batter. And as my buddy Jim that lives out on the East Coast says, Giancarlo Stanton, king of the most meaningless hit. So most meaningless home run, most meaningless hit, Giancarlo Stanton has you. If you've got another candidate for the most meaningless, the guy who has the most meaningless hits and home runs, leave it in the comments section. I love this one. Dodgers Guardians, Gavin Williams over 2.5 walks. This guy's a walk machine. He had 6 in the first game of the season. 6 walks. And he's also walked 6 and 3 in 2 games in his career against the Dodgers. So Gavin Williams struggling in the walks department. And then early game, Phillies and Nationals, Chris Sanchez over 6.5 strikeouts. He's a strikeout machine. He had 10 in the first game of the season against Texas, and he went 6 innings. So he's going to get the opportunities, and the Nationals strike out about 9 times per game. So, all right, that's going to do it for Prop Line. Again, guys, we're running these specials so you guys can have a little bit more long-term with 30 days and $100 off. Buy 3 days, get 3 days free. If you want a little bit short-term, get the 6 days for half price. If you want a little bit more long-term, get 30 days for $100 off all sports. We look to continue our nice run. Let's cash on our plays of the day on our same game parlay. Good luck on all your bets. We'll see you everyone later.